This is the best and worst Christmas activities tier list. These are all activities associated with Christmas, things you do around the holidays. This first one, this would be like a Christmas tree farm, picking out a Christmas tree at an actual Christmas tree farm. Something that I would probably do with like hot apple cider. I'd be a little bit drunk for this with the family. It's something you don't want to do initially, and then you think about it, it's like, okay, maybe this is okay. The actual chopping of the wood, I would not do that. There's not a snowball's chance in hell I would actually do that. I would let someone else handle that. This is somewhere in here for me, probably. Because there's like other activities associated with it. Like usually there's like, you know, a fire, like s'mores or something like that. Cider, eggnog, you know, you're a little bit lit for it. I think it's B. I think this is a B tier activity. This could move, or I'm trying to find the baselines here for now. So this is a B tier for me. Running the chainsaw. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't think about the chainsaw. The chainsaw is definitely a sick part of it. Yeah, see, I was thinking about like actually chopping it, but yeah, chainsaw is definitely, that's the move. This next one, building a gingerbread house, or building and decorating a gingerbread house. Let's call a spade a spade. This sucks. These never come out well. They always look terrible. Like this one is obviously like professionally done, but this thing, I mean, this is D tier for me. It tastes bad. It always looks terrible. You can't even eat it at the end. So this is actually below D for me. Like at least Christmas cookies, which we have coming up, like you can eat. This, it's just like, you just display it and it gets stale and then you can't even eat it because it's immediately stale. Because you buy it in a kit. No one's making fresh gingerbread, like 2x4s or whatever the fuck these are, right? At the end, throwing this shit away, like all these candies are like rocks by the end. Like this stuff is like, it's disgusting. And like no one knows how to pipe icing like this, but they never come out looking like this, ever. It always comes out looking like an old shed that's been in the backyard for like 78 years. And you're like, we don't know what's in there. We don't want to go check it out either. But we hear noises coming from it every once in a while. So this is E tier for me. This is like bottom of the barrel activity. Actually might name this like gingerbread houses. Actually, I'm going to name this category decorating gingerbread house. This is the worst activity. I think this is the worst activity. Now, at face value, this is just like an old school like TV cart. But I associate this with like that last day of school before Christmas break, right? When like, you know, you're not like your tests are all done, your finals are all done. Like it's that last like Christmas party day at school. So like that last day of school before a break, like that's an A tier day. Like you're watching like Christmas Vacation in school or something, you know, you're watching The Grinch, you know, in school. Teachers are letting you bring your Switch in. See, that's what I mean. Like it's not necessarily just the TV cart, but it's like everything associated with like that last day. This next one. Okay, this kind of goes along with decorating a gingerbread house, but at the end, you actually can eat these. So decorating Christmas cookies, Jess and I did it last year, and we honestly had a blast. And they're delicious. And you can eat them. They look terrible, but this is, I mean, you're just eating cookies and like drinking, and it doesn't matter what they look like. So kind of polar opposite of this, where it's all decorating, no eating. This is mostly eating with minimal decorating. I think this is A for me. All right, this next one is caroling. Has anyone been caroling? Like actually gone like door to door caroling? It sounds like a psychotic activity at face value. If you came to me with a serious face and said, we can't open presents yet, we have to go caroling, I would leave that Christmas gathering. This is for psychopaths. You're gonna knock on my door and sing to me? I feel like if you're good at singing and you don't like take it too seriously, it could be fun. But it's a very fine line between like being cringy and being like actually good, you know? To participate in one of these is absolutely C, probably D tier, honestly. Someone coming to your house and doing it well, I think is an enjoyable thing. Like that would make it a, you know, probably a high B for me. Like, but participating in seems like very minimal trade-off for being in the cold, singing amongst a bunch of people. How it helps old ass people that can't leave their house. Now I'm just mean. Yeah, sorry I didn't take every single life experience into this opinion. If it's in like a nursing home or something, absolutely. Like that's absolutely. But as an adult, if I'm doing this willingly to like my neighbors, that's a psychopath. This next one. This picture might be a little bit weird, like hard to see or understand. This is getting into arguments with your family members during the holidays. Always fun, always a good time. Politics, religion, relationships. Yeah, I mean, like it seems like it'd be a miserable thing, but like entertainment-wise, this is an S tier activity for me. There's nothing more fun than just hearing like that like dog whistle racism from a distant uncle, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get into it, this motherfucker. Yeah, you get to a point in life where like you don't care anymore. You're like, you're not paying my bills. Why should I care what I say to you? It could be watching or participating in. Either way, it's fun. I'll be angry in the moment, but afterwards I'm like, I was definitely right. This next one, this activity was submitted by Dom. This is a guy waiting for his in-laws at the airport, or family at the airport. So picking up people at the airport, this sucks, especially during the holidays. This is worse than caroling. Picking up should be a C only because you have the option of making signs. Welcome back from prison. That's pretty good. See, that's a good bit. That's a good bit. But I think overall, this sucks immensely. You get to see your favorite. See, that's a good point though, Nico. See, you took the wholesome side where you're like, but you get to see your family. And I'm like, I don't want to wait in this line to see my family. Yeah, this next one is family Christmas photos. Family Christmas photos lower than D. Yeah, this kind of sucks. They never look good. And even if you're doing like funny ones, like they're never that funny, right? Like the internet exists and we've seen all of them. Like the dog ones are cute, but like everyone's done them. I think this is in the category of like building or decorating a gingerbread house too. Not that much payoff for a lot of effort. This next one is taking a nap on the couch. Yeah, this is taking a nap on the couch. This is a very good activity, regardless of time, but especially during the holidays. Couch higher than S tier. Couch nap's a pretty great activity. This is definitely S tier. I don't want to create another category, but this is definitely better than arguing with family. Yeah, couch naps are an S tier activity, especially when you're watching football, you've had a couple drinks, you've already opened presents, everyone's kind of doing their own thing, you have no obligations to do anything. You're like, I'm just gonna nap on the couch for 2 hours and no one even notices. Then you just get up and carry on with the day. You're like, I just napped on the couch for 2 hours and no one cared. This next one's very niche, but I feel like everyone goes through this, but no one ever really talks about it. My brother and I both simultaneously thought of this. There's nothing better than when everyone's opening their presents, like balling up the wrapping paper and shooting it into an enormous, like Glad garbage bag, like a big, like trash can size one. And there's always one guy who's holding it, right? And then you ball it up, and then like you're just chucking wrapping paper balls at him. And that's his job for the day. It's always the same guy every year. It's usually an uncle, like it's Uncle Mike for me. He always holds the bag, and we're just whipping wrapping paper balls at him. It's definitely high A. Definitely high A. We're gonna keep it here for now. It's definitely better than these two. Because it's not necessarily the activity. Throwing a ball of wrapping paper in any other situation is like, okay, whatever. But it's about like your whole family's there, you're all opening gifts, you know? And then you open your gift, you'll forget about it all year, and then you'll open a gift and you'll be like, oh, I have this wrapping paper. That's right, I need to ball it up and chuck it at Uncle Mike at 78 miles an hour. It just comes back like an instinct. This next one, you can't really see because of the photo. Writing letters to Santa. Yeah, I think this is B. As a kid, this is S tier. But as an adult, you know, you're looking at it at a different lens. You've grown up a little bit. Now it's probably B. You know, it's cool. You know, your little cousin's like, oh, this is what I want. And it says like some shit you don't know what he's talking about anymore because you're old and time's just passing you by as your cousin is young and full of life and you're slowly decaying away. Your hairline's not the way it was once. Presents don't quite excite you the same. Haven't written a letter to Santa in 26 years. All right, Midnight Mass. This is D. No, it's not. It's below D. Fuck Midnight Mass. Not doing it. Not doing anything at midnight. I'm gonna be drunk as shit on the couch. Why would I want to go talk to God? Don't want to do it. Don't ask me to do it. Hi, Corbin. How are you? Welcome to my self-realization that I'm old and time has passed me by. The fuck is Midnight Mass? Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess not everyone has grown up in a Christian vacuum. Yeah, so Midnight Mass is something that Catholics, do all Christians or just Catholics? Yeah, you go to Mass at midnight. Literally, you celebrate Christmas all day with your family. You know, the adults are drinking all day, watching football, whatever it is. And then your whole family goes to church at midnight. Who would want to celebrate, obviously, the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? But realistically, who wants to do this? Like religion or not, you know, whatever. I'm not talking about that. But like the fact going anywhere at midnight is something that I don't want to do, especially go to church. You spend all day enjoying the day, like watching football, having some beers, playing some games, calling children unrepeatable things on the internet, and now you're going to take me to to church to confess my sins is on the same level. You know what? Family Christmas photos isn't as bad as these two. Hot chocolate. Hot chocolate's pretty good. It's a good Christmas activity. I don't think it's like the payoff isn't as good as Christmas cookies. I'd put it in B. I think it's B. I think I'd get over it quickly. Because hot chocolate you drink, like, it's not just Christmas, you know? This next one, this is just drinking. Drinking with your friends. I think this is an S tier activity for me. This is where we come up with all our best ideas. This is how this stream team was formed. Was us drinking at a bar. So yeah, drinking with your friends, S tier activity. Really nothing quite like it. How many of the family fights start? That's a good point. Yeah, this goes hand in hand. Yeah, one fuels the other, right? This is the spark that ignites the fire. Yeah. And then leads to this. So yeah, we got a perfect chain of events going on here. This to this to this. Next one, building a snowman. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I think this is somewhere in here for me. S? I don't know if it's S. Is it S? If it's good snow, like if it has to be actually good packing snow. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference. Like for those of you who aren't from the northern half of the country, there's different types of snow. So there's the worst kind, which is just slush, you know, and it's like ice chips and it's just wet and gross and it gets everywhere. And it's like between, like it usually happens when it's like 32, 33 degrees and it's just in between. And then there's like good packing snow, which is like when it's in like the 20s, you know, there's a little bit of water to it and you could actually pack it and make a ball to it. And then there's just like powder, you know, that you can't make a snowman with like powder snow. I mean, theoretically you could, but it's very difficult because it's literally powder and it doesn't pack together well. If it's good packing snow, I'll give you A. I'll give you low A because it usually means like, you know, you don't have anything to do. On a snow day, yeah, making a snowman's a pretty good activity, Nico. I'll give you that. Yeah. I think it's an A activity. And then, yeah, like you find, like you don't have what you need, like around the house, like you don't have the carrots for a nose, so you use, you know, substituting things. You know, you're substituting, like, you're sticking a Ticonderoga pencil in there for a nose. That's always fun. And, like, there's 2 quarters for eyeballs. It's like a Dr. Frankenstein of a snowman, you know? There's, like, Chips Ahoy minis for the mouth. The arms are like old broom handles because the logging company came in and chopped down all your trees 17 years ago. Your dad's butt plug for a nose. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. That'd be ass tier for me. Get it? That's a butt joke. Watching a snowman melt and like become not a snowman anymore is really depressing though. It's like a week later, you know, it's like half melted. Like you've moved on with life and that snowman's still there, just slowly withering away. Next one, eggnog. I'm gonna give eggnog a high B. Eggnog's great. Only comes around during the holidays. It's definitely better than hot chocolate. I'm actually going to move hot chocolate to C. Hot chocolate is literally mid for me. Eggnog's great. If you haven't had eggnog, I do recommend it. Especially like good eggnog, not like mass produced, like bullshit eggnog. Like find like a good like local dairy provider, you know, manufacturer, producer, I don't know what you call them. Dairy farm, I guess. And get it from them because they definitely have like an old like recipe that's good. It's like a vanilla nutmeg milkshake almost. I recommend it if you haven't had it. A little bit of cinnamon on top, delicious. It's very good. Highly recommend. So eggnog's high B for me. Mix a little rum in there. Not much better than that. Next one, TSA. This goes along with traveling during the holidays. Just the worst. Just the worst. Thanks a lot, Bin Laden. Terrible activity. Not the TSA agents, they're just doing their job. Some of them are dickheads. But just going through TSA. People are just, they have no idea how to travel. They're not taking their shoes off. They gotta stop. You're sitting there waiting. Just the worst. I've been, like, they've had to pull my bag aside so many times because of my contact solution. And I'm like, I'm not gonna blow up a plane with fucking contact solution. Like, I got dry eyes. What are we talking about? And they're going through your shit. And they're like, you gotta put the laptop in a separate fucking Tupperware container as your bag. I'm like, what do I do with my phone? It's like almost the size of a laptop, but it's smaller than my Switch. Like, what's the cutoff? This is marginal. And I'm losing my mind. My shoes are off. I hate people's feet. I just wish the TSA agent would shoot me. Just be like, just give me something to do. Just like, give me an excuse to get out of this line. The Feast of the Seven Fishes. Now, all right, before I actually rank this, is an Italian-American celebration of Christmas Eve with the dishes of fish and other seafood. This is a real thing. When I first heard of this, when I was a kid, I had no idea. So this is a Christmas Eve celebration, and you eat 7 different types of fish, or 7 different seafood meals. The number 7 may come from the sacraments of the Catholic Church or the 7 hills of Rome. Interesting. There's no general agreement on its meaning, which is interesting. So just Italians were like, let's just eat 7 different types of fish. Feast of the Seven Fishes. Yeah, Caleb loves seafood. I don't. We're going to put this in C. It's like the Italians are going to be screaming at me for whoever watches this. But like, I'm Irish. I don't care. I'll put it in B. It's actually kind of a cool tradition. And like I assume Italians are shouting at each other like about the meal. Probably way excited about it, rightfully so. We'll keep it in B. Seems like a good tradition. I can't put it in A, Caleb. I'm not Italian, and I don't love seafood, but I can appreciate the tradition. All right, this next one, Secret Santa. So this could be a work Secret Santa, a school Secret Santa, a friend Secret Santa. I think this is an A tier activity. I'm not gonna quite put it in S because it depends on the group. For us, it's A. Like we've done it during our annual like Eve of the Eve celebration that we try to do. And it's always fun because you're getting something like usually gag gifts for your friends, you know, it's like a running bit activity. Actually, I'm going to put this in S tier. I think Secret Santa is an S tier activity. It's always fun. Like our group will like get a gift that like we hadn't thought about in like 3 years. And it's just a running bit and then we're just crying laughing. Yeah, this is an S tier for me. I think Dom and Ralph would agree. We've had many a very funny gift. So yeah, Secret Santa is going to be an S tier for me. Next one, wrapping presents. This fucking sucks. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. I've literally wrapped something that looks like this. Like that comes out looking like this. So not fun. Jess loves it and she's so good at it. I hate it. I just want to be like, here, and just give them the actual item. You love wrapping presents, Whale? Really? I guess it's like, it could be like therapeutic. However, you're mentally ill. That makes sense. Yeah, that could do it. Maybe that's why. All right, ugly sweaters. Ugly sweaters are fun. I think it's high B for me. I think it's kind of played out, you know? Actually, no. This is a C tier for me. I think it's a fun thing, but like, it's all been done, you know? I think it's a C. Like, it's fun once a year, you know? Like, you can get away with some, like, borderline... Like, there's always one that's like, is that racist? Like, I don't know. It's kind of on the fence, you know? But it's like, oh, it's red and green and it's got Santa on it, so it's probably fine. Like this one, I've got hose in different area codes. Like any other shirt, that's offensive. But Christmas, it's like, oh, no, get away with it. Get away with it. It can have novelty, especially when you treat it like a Secret Santa. That's true. Yeah. I think you're talking me into B. Now I'm trying to see if anything can get bumped down or bumped up. Yeah, no, I'm pretty solid there. I think hot chocolate's a very solid C there. Yeah, we'll keep it in B. It's a good laugh. We'll keep it in B. This next one, putting out cookies for Santa. Prepping the house for Santa. You know, your cookies, your milk, your reindeer dust, your tip of $7.47. I think this is B. I think it's B. Yeah, because it's like you're marking the excitement, you know, getting the house ready. I think as an adult, this would be cool too, because you're like, I have to eat all those cookies now. This next one, this is the Disney Christmas Day Parade. I feel like in person this would be cool. I guess they televise this. So yeah, this is the Disney Christmas Day Parade. I'm not a Disney guy, so this is a C tier activity for me. If you're waking up and actually wanting to watch this shit. Yeah, so I just have no interest. This is C. If it's on, I'll probably watch it, but I didn't even remember that it was a thing. Like Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is obviously like way bigger. Apparently they televise this. So this goes along with hot chocolate, like whatever. This next one, Christmas Day football, which we have this year. This is S tier. Really not much better than football on Christmas Day. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You can just hang out. I think there's 2 games this year. I know the Packers play the Browns on Christmas, and there's one other game that I don't care about. Next one, work Christmas parties. This is I'll put it in C. I'll give it C. It definitely depends on the work, like the coworkers you have. My job, like 4 years ago, like it was at a nice venue. Like I was friends with, like really close with a lot of people at work. Open bar. It could definitely be very good, but it could also be very, very bad. So this is kind of mid for me. This next one, slipping on the ice. This is a below D tier activity for me. If you've never slipped on ice, it's a terrible experience because you have literally nothing to brace yourself. Your feet just like you're up and then you're literally parallel to the earth. And the only way for you to go is straight down. So the only thing bracing you is your arms. You'll literally like break your elbow. Then you have a concussion. It's a terrible experience. And there's also nothing worse than like almost slipping. Like you catch yourself and you're like, oh fuck. Like your foot, like one foot goes out in front of you. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Broken hips, broken elbows. Nothing good comes out of it. This is below D tier for me. Would not recommend. This next one, just opening presents. Pretty simple, straightforward. Tried and true, American Pie, all-American. Opening presents, definitely A tier, probably S. I'll put it in S. I'm like, my negativity is like, oh, but what if you get something you don't like? But it's definitely an S tier. That reminds me, I think Secret Santa goes down to A for me, but I'll put it here. Yeah, opening presents is definitely S tier. Secret Santa, I think, is A tier. Yeah, I'd keep it in A tier, yeah. Because like when I think of like Christmas, I'm thinking about like these things. Secret Santa's probably in there at A. This might go back up, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely S tier. Definitely S tier. Next one. Yeah, looking at Christmas lights. This is cool. I think it's good. I think it goes along with like picking out your tree. You know, you see your houses in the area lit up. Good tradition. Like these are good tradition things, you know? It's like, oh yeah, we get to do this, this, and this, and this. Sledding. Sledding's fun. I think sledding's a good activity. I'm gonna keep it an A. I think sledding's dope. I did it a lot as a kid. We're just sitting on Santa's lap. Wait a minute, there's not a tier high enough for that. Yeah, sledding's A. I think it's fun, especially as a kid, you know, go with your friends. Favorite alcoholic beverage? Good question, Corbin. I grew up like a big rum and Coke guy, but now I can't do that much sugar because I'm old. I'm actually a big old-fashioned guy now. I like a good old-fashioned. Some whiskey, some bitters, splash of water, ice cube, little orange peel in there. Next one, ice skating. This is not as fun as sledding, but still fun. Good activity, you know, take it or leave it kind of thing. Definitely fun. Little sore on the ankles. I definitely look like a ice skating giraffe. For sure, but still fun. My favorite thing, I've only been ice skating a couple times, but my favorite thing was like diving on the ice and just sliding forever, you know, almost like you're sledding, which makes me know that this is correct. Sledding is definitely better than ice skating. Next one, decorating for Christmas. Pretty fun. Definitely, it's much better than sled. You think ice skating is better than sledding? Oh, so you have to be skilled. See, that's not a learning curve I want to take on, Dirk. See, that's why. I think is decorating A or B? It's not S. Like, I don't look. Jess loves decorating. It's just, I think it's A. I think it's A because then you look at it after and you're like, oh wow, the result is very good. For the work you put in, the result is great. I think it's A. I think it's A. Next one, explaining cryptocurrency to your family. This is a D tier activity for me. It's gonna come up, and if I try to explain what an NFT is to my grandma, her head might fucking explode. I don't want any part of this, and I know it's gonna happen. I think this might be bottom. I think explaining what Ethereum is to my 88-year-old grandmother, that might do it for her. This might be it for Helen. Yeah. Just say you're a scammer. That's true. Yeah, it's just a terrible scheme, Graham. I don't want any part of this. I don't want to explain to her that people are buying internet images of internet monkeys for $78,000, and it's something that you can't even touch. She might just call it right there. So yeah, explaining cryptocurrency, definitely bottom tier. This next one, this lady looks like she's in pain, and it's actually serving drinks to your family. This is an A tier activity for me because it's the one time a year where you realize that you're an alcoholic, because you'll make it weak and you'd be like, oh, I'm making this weak for my aunt, and it's like a cranberry vodka. She's like, wow, this is really strong. It's like, well, that's got 1 tablespoon of Tito's in there. This is actually probably B for me. So this is gonna go off here shortly. Oh my God, Caleb actually won. So rounding this out here, this next one is dogs opening Christmas presents. This is an S tier activity for me. Watching dogs open Christmas presents ain't much better. This is a great thing to watch. Always cute, always does well. This is getting a Christmas card and having to act like you don't care that there's no money in it. This is a D tier. This is the worst. Even as an adult, like you get a card and you're like, there should be money in every card. Let's be fair. There should be money. I don't care how much it is. It's not about the amount, right? I don't care if there's a check, for $10, $100 bill, $1. I don't care. There should be money in every single card that anyone sends for any reason. Just put $1 in there. It makes the person feel better, and then it's just not a piece of paper. It should be totally acceptable to send I'm sorry for your loss and put like a $5 in there. There's no reason to give their card if there's not anything in it. Correct. Literally no. Oh, I'm thinking about you. Text messaging exists. Call me on the phone. You sent me a card? Sorry, Gertrude died. Here's $10. Much better. No, you're gonna tell me your feelings in a card and not give me money for it? I have to read that shit? You're just gonna trauma dump into this Hallmark card and not give me a burrito meal out of it. Suck my ass. You kind of hate opening gifts because you're unable to show gratitude properly. Colton, that's a great point. I feel the same way. Yeah, this is the worst. It's not the worst, because it's still like, someone went out of their way to get your card, but also like, what are you broke? Put a fucking nickel in there. What are you doing? This last one, this was Ryan's idea. Christmas is the only time of year when you have to like hold up clothing and like show your family what you got. And it could be the shittiest fucking Kohl's golf shirt and everyone's gonna be like, ooh, we all know this gift sucks. Why are we faking this? It's gonna be a quarter zip, and it's like, oh, you can wear it when it's cold. Like, yeah, no fucking shit. Like, the fuck are we doing? And then they're always like, you wear that, right? And you're like, yeah, of course. I wear clothes. Like, this is a C-tier activity. It's always awkward, but it's a staple, right? Oh, you wear shirts, right? I do wear shirts. Thank you. I do wear shirts. How'd you know? Yeah, that looks good on you. Yeah, you have to like hold it up. Like, oh, that's your style for sure. Like, yeah, everyone has to agree. Like, we're all faking it. What are we doing here? I think this rounds it out, honestly. That was a miss too that I forgot to put on here, was getting like underwear and socks. As a kid, it sucks. As an adult, it's like, thank you. I need to replace multiple pairs of underwear and socks. Thank you for sparing me the burden of going to Target. Yeah, good socks are a great gift. I think this rounds it out. Do we screen cap this? Take a photo?